Good grief. Why do they never go in for me?
Needed to get back up on Sunday this plate opened up. £8 she is. She's a rarity. They normally had to count them all out and count them all back, didn't they? But I always thinking, see, we used to go down to the Navy days in Portsmouth. Got a coffin open for these features.
I might look at the condition in a sec. Yeah, he's pretty good actually.
Something I like listening to, but not something I listen to all the time.
Yeah. Oh, there's a lot of people like that, isn't there?
When it comes on, you go, oh, yeah, love it.
Hi everyone, back again with another video. I've actually got some vinyl to show. Now I know that I think I showed some CDs in my last video. Sorry it's been so long. I managed to get coping down with that certain virus for a couple of weeks and it sort of knocked everything sideways for a bit. But I've got some vinyl. Now these records I've had ages. It's just been so long. I actually got these probably maybe late September, early October. So from a car boot sale. And it was a lovely sunny afternoon. I did have some footage somewhere. I did take some footage of the afternoon of when we went, but I've lost it. I managed to delete it like the usual useless person I am. But yeah, it was a really lovely sunny afternoon. And I had a whale of a time going there, and there were loads of records there. Most of them not great quality, but there was some really picked up some good stuff. Now the first one I picked up, I was going through. I went through a lot of people, and I don't know, quality of what people give at car boots can be really varying. Sometimes you end up with really mint stuff and it looks fantastic and you get it home and it plays like a treat. Other times they're asking like at least twice the amount of money that it's really worth, especially when you look at the condition. It's like dinner plates or like, I don't know, disc brakes off a car. It looks like sometimes. I don't know what people do with them. But I went on one store and there was a lot of records of this era. Most of them, like, I'm not touching those for what he's asking for them. But this one, I thought I'm going to take a chance with this one. This is a really good looking album. Looked fairly clean. Sounds a bit crackly, but it's not too bad. So I decided to take a chance with this one. So this is, it is a sampler from Ireland, but this is a German sampler from Ireland. It's called London Pop News. I think it was probably released about the same time as Nice Enough to Eat, which I've also got a copy of, which was, I think that was an Ireland sampler, I'm sure it's got, because it's got, is it Nice Enough to Eat? It's one of those. I think it might have been that, because there's at least 2 tracks that I've gotten, 3, possibly 3. But it's very similar bands, very similar lineup. So I know this is, you can tell that it's German because you've got German. It's quite nice in a sleeve. It looks a bit like it does look a bit like a newspaper, a kind of. I don't know why they chose to highlight Jethro Tull and Renaissance. Maybe they were giving them a particular push. But there's some good tracks on here. There's things like Tuller on here with The New Day Yesterday, Spooky Tooth on here, Woman from Free, there's Bloodwind Pig, Traffic doing Medicated Goo, which is a great track, Renaissance doing The Wanderer, which you can see, Ganga Mai from Quintessence, which is on Nice Enough to Eat or whatever the other one is, Rock and Roll Queen, What the Hoople, Fairport are on here with Mr. Lacey. It's a really nice compilation on that pink Island label there, which is always a pleasure to see. So yeah, I had a lot of fun listening to this. I've listened to this a few times, and it's a good album. It's a nice compilation. Always pick up these samplers if I ever see them. Right, I also picked up this one. So this is Burning Sky by Bad Company. This is actually a pretty good. I think this is pretty good. I really like this. It's in good nick. It's got some really good tracks on it. Where's the track listing? So it's actually on the inner sleeve. So you've got the inner sleeve as well. There's the track listing. Things like Burning Sky. I don't think this was a big hit, but I really enjoyed listening to this. There's some good rockers. There's some more ballady type stuff. Released in '76. Was it 77? Recorded in '76. Man Needs Woman. I just really enjoyed it. I think it's a good rock record. I really like that. That is one of the best labels. I think I love that label. I think that is a glorious label. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, on Island, just like the sampler. But I really enjoyed this. I think this was fourth or fifth album they released. I'm not sure, but I really enjoyed it. Right, I also got. I've wanted to get this for a while, but I've never seen a decent copy of it. And I managed to find one at this car boot. So I think this is. Was it their first album with Starship? I'm not sure. I'm a bit hazy on the lineage where it changed over from Airship to Starship. I think this might have been the second one, but this was a big hit in the States. This is Red Octopus. It's a bit. I don't know. It doesn't. On the whole, it didn't really do an awful lot for me. The best tracks, the absolute best tracks, are the ones that Paul Kantner are involved with. So I Want to See Another World, and There Will Be Love are easily, for me, the best tracks on this album. It's okay. I'm quite happy I've seen it. I think it's in it. I'm not sure, but it's on that. I think that's a great label, though. Grunt, absolutely great label. Yeah, I'm going to give it another go, just to make sure that I've listened to it a couple of times. It's not my favourite album, but yeah, those two Paul Kantner written tracks really do. They're sort of way better, I think. I think it's a bit soft. I think there was a big hit on this, wasn't there? Wasn't there a big hit? I don't know, but I think this was an American #1 album, I think, or it was pretty successful in the States. Did nothing over here, of course. But yeah, it's a decent enough record. It's not marvelous. But this was a huge surprise. I was not expecting very much from this beyond one single. And it's a really good album. So this is the Hooters, and what is it? One Way Home. This is a bit of a good album, this is. So I got it because of the song Satellite, which basically has a go at TV evangelists and TV preachers, and how they end up with like really expensive cars and big houses at the expense of their parishioners. Parishioners, yeah. This is brilliant. A brilliant rootsy rock album. Absolutely fantastic. I loved this. I would say this is probably the album of the batch. They've got a lovely lyric sheet there. Just full of, there's kind of folk tracks on here. There's roots rock. It's kind of a melange of influences here. But this is the one that I'm probably going to play the most often. I really enjoyed this. This was a great record. Did I show the label? I think it's just a stock red CBS, I think. yeah, it's just that plain CBS from the 80s. So yeah, this was released. I don't know much about them beyond Satellite. Satellite was a UK hit in 86, 87, reached the UK top 20, and I remember it. I remember loving it, and I'm so pleased I finally got a copy of this because this is a really good record. I was really surprised at this. Fabulous stuff. That was brilliant. Right, and then round up by two albums from the same guy, and first one. So I finally picked up copies of the first two Nick Kershaw albums. So this one is Human Racing. I think this is a bit of an 80s pop classic, to be honest. I think this is fantastic. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 top 20 singles off this. I think there's 4. You've got Dancing Girls, Wouldn't It Be Good, which was his first big hit, which I remember watching him play on the 1984 Brit Awards because apparently Duran Duran couldn't make it. So they sent him along, apparently. Nothing to do with the record company, of course, no, whatsoever. But he turned up, and that basically his career took off, I think, from him playing Wouldn't It Be Good? Because it had kind of stalled a bit before that. So that was his first big break, I think. Things like I don't know, I Won't Let Sun Go Down on Me is easily the most irritating song on this album. Human Racing's good. But the album tracks are really good. I must have listened to my sister's copy of this a lot because I knew this album really, really well. Like Drum Talk, great. Bogart is really good. Gone to Pieces, Shame on You, Cloak and Dagger. I just knew this album from start to finish. So I was really glad I actually picked up a copy of this. It's a great pop record. I mean, you know me and my 80s pop. Anybody who's watched this channel for a while and on the MCA Rainbow knows how much I love my 80s, early 80s pop. And this was probably coming towards the end of it. So I think this was released in sort of 84. I think really brilliant 80s pop it was starting to fizzle out in 85. So I remember, well, for me anyway, but I think really it lasted up until about 84, possibly 85. There were still some bands releasing stuff, but I think this is one of the last really good 80s pop records. So that's Human Racing. I also picked up a copy of the Riddle. This is a different kettle of fish. This was released, I think this is only released it was less than a year after Human Racing. And you can tell, I mean, I'm sorry, but you've got thin material here. There's some absolute rubbish on here. There's too much, it's too much reliant on like jazz funk for me. I'm not a big fan of that, and there's too much of it on here. Human Racing had a real synth. There was a lot of synth on it, but also there's quite a few different styles. You had a bit of jazz funk, but there was pop, there was funk. It's a good. This is much more varied. This, I don't know, it just doesn't work. I just think the songs aren't as strong. It's a bit bland in places. Not a big fan of this one. So singles with Don Quixote, The Riddle, of course, Wide Boy. I don't know. Maybe I'll listen to that again, but I'm not a big fan of this. That's fabulous. That's fabulous. Always, I rate this one so highly. Right, there you go. So, a batch of old vinyl for you from a car boot from, what was that, 4 or 5 months ago? Don't know. Warmer times. That's all I can say. Looking forward to warmer times. So, I'll probably record another video very soon. I'm going to put up some more CD videos because I'm going to spend this year recording how many CDs I actually buy, which is because I never keep a tab on it. I've bought shed loads and I'm going to continue. And I've got loads of records to listen to, of course. So, and finally, I'm going to get back into my top 100, but we'll see how far and how soon that happens. As and when. Right, so thanks everybody for watching, and I hope I'll see you all again soon. Cheers everyone. Bye.